Now 5 o'clock, let us begin. Let us all stand and do the pledge of allegiance to the flag. And after we do the pledge of allegiance to the flag, let's take a 5 count to say a little prayer for all our emergency workers and family. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, liberty and justice.
Thank you. We're going to start with the roll call. Commissioner Deborah. Commissioner Wright.
Here.
Commissioner McGugan.
Here.
Commissioner Stanley.
Coming to the door. Oh, he's in the door right now. Say present.
You better say here real quick.
Commissioner Rolando. Commissioner Toomey. Commissioner Durham.
Here.
Right. Moving right along, I want to make a motion to approve the minutes from our last sessions on 7th, 28th, and May 1st.
Second.
Anybody disapprove? Okay, we're right on along. Public comments. Chief reports.
Me, come up here for a second.
Okay.
Okay, to start off, and I'm going to come back up there in a second, but I wanted to recognize some of our members as we reviewed incidents from the previous year as well. So this happened about a year ago in May, but I'll read this off and then I'll recognize some of our members in attendance as well too. May 1st, 2024, units with the St. John's Fire District responded to Sounding Lane in the Kiowa River neighborhood for the report of a person submerged up to their waist in a trench. This complicated incident requires technical expertise, immense safety precautions, and abundance of resources. Engine 705 arrived to find a construction worker in the trench and unable to extricate themselves. Ladder 702 arrived on scene and began assisting Engine 705 with assessing the patient's condition and situation. Battalion 701 arrived on scene and assumed command. Chief 707 and Battalion 702 arrived to find the patient still entrapped and discuss an incident action plan. Chief 704 assumed incident command and Chief 702 established accountability. Additional resources were requested to respond to this complex incident. Help from our auto aid partners and City of Charleston vacuum trucks. The victim was removed and in good condition after this trench rescue. In addition to Chief Nathan Prouse, who was to be recognized for his actions. Following personnel are always being recognized, or additionally being recognized for their actions in this incident. Deputy Chief Kevin Henson, Battalion Chief Sean Flanagan, Battalion Chief Nathan Adams, Battalion Chief Michael Dadarian, Captain Josh Madden, Engineer Daniel Lauder, Engineer Brett Baskin, Firefighter Mark Teal, Firefighter Michael Winston, and Firefighter Matthew Valberg. Chief Henson, Chief Sean are up here. Come on up, guys.
Yeah, yes.
They'll be awarded a meritorious service ribbon for their contributions to the outcome of this incident. Sir, you. Yeah, that's right. We can go down there. So, all right, I'll come back up there.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. One of those incidents that happen once in a career sometimes, but our department did a good job with it, and some of our capability with our rescue team, will be able to handle things like that and more in the future as well too. So a couple other notes I have for here. Want to recognize we had a party for him last week, which was really nice. But Engineer Quentin Hunter did 19 years with St. John's Fire District and is retiring from the fire service as well. Quentin was a great asset to St. John's Fire District, had a great attitude, was a smart guy, and really flew the flag for St. John's Fire District. And done well getting newer members and younger members under him ready as well too. So we recognized him last week And his last day was last week as well. So we wish Quentin well. We were sad to lose him as well. So I wanted to thank you all for attending the special meetings. I know those came up fast there the last couple of weeks, but wanted to thank you. Just based on the last couple of weeks even and issues we're working through on our apparatus, this truck that we're purchasing at our last special meeting is going to be very much needed. So thank you for that as well too. Pre-construction meetings on tenders are coming up soon with our heavy rescue to follow. So we'll have the next 6 to 8 months an influx of apparatus coming in as well too. So we appreciate your help and your willingness to jump on last minute to consider those purchases as well.
Is the heavy rescue time limit the same as the pump?
No, the heavy rescues, I think pre-con we talked about beginning this. Chief Prowse would know a little bit more on the heavy rescue.
So we completed pre-con the last week of March. So we're scheduled right now to go to final inspection in December with the receipt or arrival date somewhere in January.
Yeah.
So
We
it has
bought
been
that-
about
quite a bit
a
ago.
30-month process, but it's with it being a dry rescue, it's much shorter than the engines.
So that's coming up. This week I'll be attending, we made an application to the Kiowa State Accommodations Tax Committee. We requested funds for next fiscal year to supplement our pay for our paramedic specialist program. And to tie that in as well too, milestone for St. John's Fire District. And I'm really proud to say that we've acquired our advanced life support license. We're working through some final licensure with DEA right now on some drugs as well too, but we are an advanced life support agency as of a couple of weeks ago. And I really want to thank Chief McCullough, several other staff members that have worked hard to get that over the line. It's something we can't do quickly, and they've put a lot of work into that as well too. So we have that new licensure and start giving a higher level of service with that licensure as well too.
It's 3 paramedics.
We've got 3 paramedic specialists.
So we cover all shifts.
Yep. Each shift has a paramedic specialist. So they do a good job. We've had a couple victories already of them with their response and being able to identify some things long before an ambulance gets there, and so which has been helpful as well too. So let's see, we got some other things going on. We've got some employee meetings coming up. We'll discuss our pay plan. We're doing some final slotting of our employees and working through that. Chief Prowse led a meeting with the construction team for the Maintenance 17 project. Probably heard or seen a few things that have to do with that as well too. Charleston was involved and so was St. Andrews because we really wanted to get with their team because it's going to be a bit of a nightmare, I think, the next couple of years getting through there. Oftentimes St. Andrews will come over here. Sometimes we'll go over on that side. City of Charleston has a station nearby as well too. How do we get emergency traffic through there? EMS. How do we get emergency traffic through there when it's going to be a mess here coming up? So good things going on there. Ms. Teresa, would you like to give an HR report, please?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Good to see you. Hiring, recruiting, what's going on? Recent hiring activity, we hired a deputy fire marshal. He started on April 21st. So the position Steve Manti left is now filled. That's great. We hired an external fire captain. He starts actually going to be on June 7th now. So that's a great addition. And we are still in the process with the internals that interviewed of their promotion and hiring decisions. So we'll have some more coming up. Separations, you heard of some of them from the chief already. We did have the engineer retiring and the assistant chief retirement, as y'all know, of Whaley. And then 2 firefighters resignations on April 9th and April 30th. So really, that's about it. We are preparing now. We just had a meeting, but preparing for engineers, firefighters, and recruitment because we're going to have some spots in academy this August. So we're preparing for that. So we're keeping busy. But yes. Yes. We heard one external. Yeah, we interviewed some externals and internals, of course, internals first. And we're going through the process of selection there. And then the one external, we did hire an external experienced captain coming in. June, the date was changed by a week just for payroll period purposes, just to get them in on the beginning of a pay period. That's all. Yep. So we're excited about that.
Yep, in that recruit class, we're working with St. Paul's. We have up to 10 slots, which will definitely boost and help us and maybe even put us over a bit. So we're excited about that. That class won't start till August, so we're preparing now for recruitment.
Yep. Thank you.
Chief Rouse, anything you want to go over on incident statistics for me, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. So recapping our incident responses for April of 2025, we had a total response of 343 incidents. That breaks down 206 of those on Johns Island, 62 on Kiowa, 37 on Seabrook, and 38 on Wadmalaw. I'd like to go back to the paramedic specialist and recap a key incident there. The day that we got approved our ALS licensure, we had a critical patient. They arrived on scene and found a patient in decline that would have had a negative outcome. Our paramedic specialist, along with a paramedic that's on engine 5, intervened quickly, and we had a positive outcome from that. So we're already seeing success here from our paramedic specialists. If there's no questions.
Super.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chief. I've got a few other things, but we're going to pick those out in committee reports and new business. So if you have any other questions, let me know. It's Chief.
Alrighty, financial report.
Hello, happy Monday.
Oh,
All right, going over April, our operating expense budget remaining goal is 16%, and we are trending with savings at around 22.6%. Our bank balances as of April 30th include our operating account at around 15.5 million, our LGIP account at around 13,000, our 2022 Go Bond account at around 24,000, our 2023 Go Bond account at around 336,000, and our 2024 Go Bond account at around 16.9 million. Our April collections included retiree reimbursements, a paramedic payment from Kiowa Island, and around $92,000 from sale of assets. And our March collections from Charleston was for around $212,000. Also, the non-standard overtime for April was around $80,000. And then looking at the dashboard for the month of April, our operating expenditures year to date is at 15.9 million, which includes encumbrances. Our base pay percentage is 83%, and we are seeing an 8.68% increase in tax revenue compared to this time last year. Any questions?
We only budget 3% or 4% revenue increase?
So last year we budgeted for 3%. We always go, I think they told us they estimated like 5.5. We usually go a little bit below that, just
Conservative.
just in case, yeah, conservatively. I think we did 3% last year. That rings a bell. So
we were actually 3 over that.
yeah, and we took that into consideration for next fiscal year's budget, another period of growth. There's some big projects, particularly down in the south end of the district, that aren't on the tax rolls yet, but they will be in the next fiscal year because they just opened. So the big project next to Timbers, I forget they changed the name of it. Cape, that's not on our tax rolls yet. So like that.
We should make sure just from a financial year, if we're going to be in the black, or the things that we can bring forward.
Yep, we just met about that today, actually, talking about our, I gave Miss Danielle a vacation last week. And we actually talked about that today. We ran some numbers. There's a couple things we want to do, talk about this like property in the next one. And then even there's some staff vehicles we have budgeted next year. We want to see if we can just, nobody knows Ford, I know, just hit 5% increases last week based on whatever's happening in our political climate right now at the federal level. So we're kind of keeping an eye and say, what can we squeeze out of this one as well too. And next month, I expect to bring to you something to benefit our employees as well too.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you.
thank you. Attorney's update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have had wrapped up the 2 big projects that everyone here has been working on. Just really doing some smaller things at this point, some federal compliance work and some old records requests and things like that we helping staff work through. But those have all been relatively small compared to the lease and the settlement agreement. And so knock on wood, we'll have a relatively keep things relatively small.
Thank you. Unfinished old business.
Okay, Nope.
Oh, you got something?
Just a new business. I'm good.
Okay. New business.
Okay, I'll start this off. We've got purchase of acreage next to Fire Station 5. I gave everybody a photo of a rough sketch here of, you can see Fire Station number 5 inside of the photo there, and there's a white box next to it there. Talked about in the past, talking about the property owners, they own the property completely around us on all 3 sides as well too. And first conversations several months ago, they weren't interested in selling any property. So as we've went through this process, and I'll touch on this in the building committee report, we have a fairly tight site at that Fire Station number 5. What we didn't know, and now we do know, is that there's a 75-foot buffer off of River Road. The current fire station is in that buffer right now. The next fire station will not be in that buffer. So we have a really, really tight site, and here's the issues with the site. Stormwater is a huge problem. We've got some additional stormwater requirements from Charleston County because of where this is located. And then also the need for an engineered septic system as well too. So once you start doing that, the site gets a little bit tighter, and the first initial proposal from the architects before we even talk about this acreage, it does have a new fire station in an area for the burn building, our new training performance center, but it's tight, and we're talking about cutting down several grand trees, which the county's not going to be happy with as well too. So they're working through some things. So I in discussions with David Myers, who's our project manager, and then also Chairwoman Lehman as well too. I went back to the people that own this property and said, how about if we just take 1 acre instead of 3 or 4? And they're concerned about some frontage, but that's okay, because if I take a lot of frontage, I can't use most of it anyway if there's a 75-foot buffer. So what we did is, this is a very rough sketch. I did this on Google Maps, and about 43,500 some odd numbers an acre square mileage. So you can see here I'm pretty close. But what's nice is it runs, it's 125 foot of frontage, and then runs about 348 feet, which is an acre. 125 times 348 is 1 acre. So it kind of puts us right back to that ditch back there. It gives us some room in the back. If we really want to do this right with our new training center and a garage that we need as well too, we really need the space as an acre as well too. Talking with the owners, Anna Meyer, her and her husband talked about it. They're willing to give us 1 acre. I gave them, I offered them a price. They countered with a price of their own at $75,000. They derived that price because cousin just sold their property just down the street, literally quarter mile from this, for 88 acres for $75,000 an acre. So that's what their asking price would be. I feel it's high, but I don't think it's exorbitant in the face of this project as well too. And this would give us just some maneuverability on the site to really plan things that we need as well too. So I open that up for questions, comments, or concerns about that purchase. Where we are currently is we are having a surveyor go out there and plot 1 acre next to us. And that way we can really know for sure, go back to the family and say, this is exactly where your property would be, where ours would be, and see if they're still comfortable with that. And then if they are, enter into an agreement to purchase the property, start that process as well too.
We also had the architect look at the property and lay it out.
Yeah, we said hypothetically, and we kept it as a real hypothetical because we didn't want to get too far down that road and then not be able to do it as well too. So they're aware that we're trying to purchase this. At this point, for them to alter the plan, really, we have a really, really rough draft of the site. So to alter the plan is not going to be difficult next month or two. So I don't think there's any concern there.
You said we're going to have to install a engineered septic system, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the water table is really high there.
Yeah.
We already have existing septic problems at Station 5 with the site that's there now. Honestly, we probably need to go down there now because it's rained so much that we always have an issue. Hurricane, we get a bunch of rain. There's always issues at 5 as well too. So No way around that, unfortunately. It also takes up a chunk of property too, so.
There's some package systems that'll do up to 10,000 gallons of water a day, so.
Yeah. And the other issue is the real big issue is stormwater. I mean, we almost need like 3/4 of an acre just for stormwater. That's how big the pond's gotta be.
Remember our conversation last week?
Mhm.
We put it up high enough, and put the stormwater under the buildings.
Yeah, that's very expensive as opposed to digging a pond. Very, very expensive.
Now,
So
what's the sub, the potential of buying this property? Now, our existing property goes how far? Do we know, Ryan? How far
Yeah.
back?
it goes pretty far back. You see where that ditch comes?
Yeah.
It's a little bit past that as well too. The problem in the back there is it's wet. And a ton of those trees back there are grand trees. That's, yeah. Even now with the stormwater, they have it running kind of in the back. They already have to, if we don't kind of adjust the plan, they're gonna have to cut down like 5 to 7 grand trees, which, yeah, we'd have to beg a little bit for that.
Can you use the buffer? Since the engineered septic system.
Yeah.
Can you put it underground and still it's buried?
I know we can't. We asked that question. Everything's just set back off the buffer. Yeah, one time they were going to widen River Road, but
Yeah, well, like
I'm sorry, Miss Terry Lynn. I know you can't. I think I sent in an email though as well. So it's a rough sketch. My request would be tonight for you to consider a motion that allows me to enter a contract for a purchase agreement.
Yeah, pursuant to enabling act, permitted to purchase property, and so that would be the commission's approval for the chief to enter into a real estate contract.
Yeah. So the motion would be for myself to enter a contract. Sorry, say that. I'll write it down.
It's up to you all. I mean, you could do it as the chair, but it's easier if you just say the chief to enter into a real estate contract for the purchase of parcel number. I don't have it in front of me, but whatever
I
that
don't
parcel. Some identifying information, an address, a parcel number, something like that in the motion would be helpful.
That's from Google. I don't have the parcel number. I can find it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we can do that.
Chief,
Sure.
how big a detention pond? You said we have to
Almost-
dig?
It's like almost 3/4 of an acre.
Can it go back in the wetlands?
No, what they have, and I can bring it to the next, you'll see it at the next building committee meeting, but, you'll see some removal of trees and then they dig this pond and it goes across the rear of the entire property. Basically linear, the whole rear of the property, but they can only go so far back into those woods before you hit clusters of grand trees and the wetness too. So wetlands damage. And it's part of the issue with that rear of that property is the flood zone AE comes in that back part as well. Now, it doesn't really matter much for digging a pond, but there kicks in some other requirements and stuff like that as well too. So it looks simple. It's a very complicated site. Looks good. It's not. So
Right here on the front, that buffer, is it within this line or behind this line, like on?
it'd be behind the line. So it'd be
Behind the
from the
line.
road.
Okay,
It'd be to the road 75 feet back from that. So like how it runs, if you kind of cut station 5 in half on the thing, that's the buffer runs. That's basically the buffer line as well through there.
To answer today, I'm just looking at the plan.
Mhm.
Do we have any plan for the future to use that?
That'd be where the new fire station goes. Yep.
This is a small ditch that's running through here.
Yes. That's why we have to reroute some stormwater to our pond and reroute it back. All of that flows basically west. This is north if you're facing this way. It all runs to the east down to Avapoula Creek. So we're kind of rerouting through our pond area and then back out. That's how I understand it.
And that ditch was for Charleston Fire Station. Had that.
Yeah.
got some-
There's that ditch you see on the right side of the photo runs all the way through the back. It kind of keeps going.
This one runs this way and runs to it.
Yeah, it basically runs two ways. It basically splits. There's kind of a ditch spout by the road and a ditch here and just run out past their property. So
Now we know where our stormwater fees going.
yes, it's going somewhere.
Do we have high elevation? What's the elevation?
So it's not in a flood zone. The only part of the flood zone is in the back. I couldn't tell you the exact elevation,
Okay.
but it is high ground. So, and it doesn't have a flood zone. So that's
So that's positive.
so. We just need a motion if you want to do that, or we can wait. I prefer we move forward. So
Make a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that, make a motion for chief to enter into a contract with the Mize family on the acre adjacent to Station 5.
that works.
Second, yeah.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, Miss Taylor, we cut you got cut off there. Sorry. I think that was an aye. And just before that too, emailing that and talking with Commissioner Lehman, Rolando and Tomei, they were in favor of that as well too. So
Yes.
even though they're not voting, just want that to be on the minutes as well. So, okay. Good. Yeah,
Good.
we're good.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll start working on it.
All right, moving right along. Committee reports. Building committee.
Okay, we're going to stay on Station 5 for a minute here and kind of answer that, some of that with the other questions, but side to that, you know that we agreed upon the lease with Charleston County. We're awaiting some contract language going back and forth with the developer for Kiowa River, for the architect for our Kiowa River Fire Station and our manager. We should have that contract signed and start kickoff meeting with that architect, Cord Atkins, here in the near future as well too. On April 23rd, we held a building committee meeting. From the Station 5 perspective, it was just discuss some geotechnical reports. They were going to come to us with a preliminary site plan, which we discussed the need for engineered septic system on site. There was also a meeting, it was not a building committee, but it was a meeting with the architects on the 7th last week. We discussed an initial site plan, like we discussed, tight fit, the need to cut down some grand trees, river road buffer, sizing requirements for our training purposes, things like that. And that was about that meeting. So that is where we're at. The next meeting would be on the 21st at 1:30 p.m. will be a building committee meeting. May 21st, 1:30 p.m. And that's it for that.
Okay, Deborah's not here, so Finance Committee, but Deborah's not here, so we gonna move right along.
We did not have a meeting.
Human Resource Committee,
No meeting.
okay. Strategy Planning, we did not have a meeting. Public firefighters comments. Commissioner comments. Start down with you, Mr. McGugan. Commissioner McGugan.
I've heard the names the chief read off and it does my heart good to see people like Chief Flanagan and some of the others have stuck with it. They've moved up, obviously very well led. And I want to thank them for doing a good job for us, and I appreciate the chief pulling that wagon.
And thanks, Ike. I'd just like to say thank you to the firefighters and to the support staff for what you provide to the community. Thank you.
You?
I'd like to say thank you guys for all that you do. Especially the group that saved the guy's life in the trenching. As a prior OSHA officer, one of the things that I always did, when going to construction site was look for spots that people could fall into. Look for sinkholes all over the place, and construction sites are organized chaos at most times. And then when you have someone who doesn't understand the risk, you're bound to blow something. So thank you for working the way that you train and doing a great job. Because most times when that happens, that's a death. So thank you for at least knowing how to call someone to ask for help. Yeah. That's it.
I echo what everyone has said in the commission. The crew and personnel and staff definitely doing an excellent job. From us, tell everybody continue a good job. We're there.
Okay. I just like to add with just a little bit on top of what everyone else said, but once you become in the fire service, you're part of a family. Even though you retire and move on, when you see the guys you left behind, you see them advancing. Those who took the time to show, and then they are now training those individuals to bring the rear up. It does my heart a great service. Living here on the island all my life and seeing you guys around doing what you need to do under chief leadership, I really appreciate it. Just keep on doing the best you can and everything will be all right. Thank you. Ms. Terlin?
I would like to say thanks to all the firefighters and support staff for going above and beyond the call of duty and continue to stay safe.
You.
No issues.
Yeah, we won't be going into no need to go into executive session. So now if all minds are clear, we're gonna go ahead and close out and call for a meeting adjourned. Do I get a second?
Second.
Hey,
We gotta vote.
we are adjourned.
I guess we voted.
Yeah, we voted.
He's been wanting